So this is number 7 of the 2010 exam, paper 1. The question reads, let f of x equal log base 3 root x for x is greater than 0. Part A of this question says, show that the inverse function of x, or f to the negative 1, is equal to 3 to the power of 2x. So to this question we have to first realize that the inverse function means that x and y switch places. So if this is the original function, f of x equals log base 3 root x, and this is with y and x in it to make it a bit easier. If we switch x and y, we get x equals log base 3 root y. Now we also know that root y is the same thing as y to the power of 1/2. So we can rewrite this to say x equals log base 3 to y to the power of 1/2. Now using our log rules, we can bring the 1/2 down to make this a bit easier. So we can get x equals 1/2 log base 3y. We can divide both sides by 1/2 to get rid of the coefficients there. So we get 2x equals log base 3y. Now is when those are in Mr. Shaw's class will know the Shawzy method, but this is just another log rule. So we get circle the base, go to the exponent, and get the answer, which can be seen here to get the answer of 3 to the power of 2x equals y, which is QED. There and there. Now moving on to part B, it says write down the range of the inverse function f to the negative 1. So because, as we know from the previous question, this is what f, the inverse function, equals 3 to the power of 2x, because it's an exponent form like that, no matter what x is, y will always be positive. So the answer therefore has to be y must be greater than 0, so the inverse function of x must be greater than 0, because you cannot have, no matter what number you have here, whether it's positive, negative, or fraction, anything, never will y be 0. Never will y be less than 0. So therefore y must be greater than 0, and the inverse function of x must be greater than 0. Moving on to question 3, it says let g of x equal log base 3x for x is greater than 0. And it says find the value of the inverse function of g and 2, which this is going to be kind of like fog going outside in, and we have to give our answer as an integer. So the first thing we want to find is g of 2. So g of 2 equals log base 3 2. This is simply done by inputting 2 into the g of x, which gives you log base 3 2. Now the next thing you want to do is use g of 2 with the inverse function. So if you remember, the inverse function was 3 to the power of 2x. So if you input 2 into that, we get 3 to the power of 2 log base 3 2. So this is simply from inputting g of 2 into the inverse function. So now we can use another log rule to take the 2 from here and make it the exponent. So we get y equals 3 log base 3 to the power of 2, which when simplified is simply y equals 3 log base 3 4, because 2 squared equals 4. Now we can use another log rule, same things, to just eliminate that, because 3 and 3 are the same, so you can eliminate that because that equals 1. And what you end up getting is the answer y equals 4. So therefore, finding the value of the inverse function of g and 2, giving your answer as an integer, the answer is y equals 4. So that is part A, B, and C of question 7, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.